Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time, we're going into the shadowy world of ghost hunting,
Ooh, spooky.
where reality and the spectral, well, they kind of blur together sometimes.
They do.
We've got a lot of sources about the challenges these paranormal investigators face.
It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of the hunt.
Right.
But what we don't often see is all the prep work and the unexpected things that pop up when you're dealing with the unknown.
It's a lot more than just wandering around in the dark with a camera.
Exactly.
So let's break this down a little.
Okay.
What's the very first thing ghost hunters have to figure out
Well,
before they even think about a ghost?
location, location, location. Just like in real estate.
Okay.
Gotta find the right spot.
So how do they find these haunted hotspots?
Right.
I'm picturing like Google Maps and spooky intuition all mixed together.
Well, it's actually a lot more
Okay.
methodical than you might think. Yeah, ghost hunters, they really dig into local legends. They look through historical records, eyewitness accounts.
Wow.
It's like detective work, Piecing together all these clues to find the places that are most likely to have paranormal activity.
I bet that's both fascinating and challenging at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like you said, detective work.
Yeah.
Sifting through all those stories.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's real and what's not.
Right.
And then even finding a place that you can actually investigate.
Oh, yeah. Gaining access. That's a whole other challenge.
I bet.
Can you imagine trying to convince a homeowner
Yeah.
to let you set up all your gear in their, supposedly haunted attic?
Yeah.
Or all the paperwork you need to investigate public or historical sites?
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's a lot.
The awkward conversations.
Yeah.
The bureaucratic nightmares.
For sure.
So, okay, let's say you've done all that. You've got your location.
Right.
You've got permission.
Yeah.
Then what?
Well, for a lot of ghost hunters, there's this crucial step before they even go inside.
Okay.
Preparation rituals.
Rituals.
Yeah.
Are you talking like sage burning?
It really depends on the person.
Okay.
Some might meditate, focus their intentions.
Mhm.
Others might carry certain objects for protection or luck.
Like what?
A religious symbol or a lucky charm.
Interesting.
It's a way to mentally prepare for the unknown.
Yeah.
Steel yourself for what you might find.
Like a psychological warm-up
Exactly.
before stepping into the ring with the supernatural.
Right.
I mean, when you're dealing with something that we don't fully understand, a little mental preparation
Right.
probably can't hurt.
And sometimes even with all that preparation,
Yeah.
things can still go wrong.
Oh, I bet.
There's a story here about a ghost hunter named Jenna.
Uh-huh.
She almost lost access to an abandoned building.
Really?
Yeah,
Stop.
right before an investigation.
Wow.
She had her gear, her team,
Oh,
and then boom, permission revoked.
oh, man.
Talk about stressful.
Oh, that's got to be so frustrating.
It is.
Especially after all the work to find the location,
Exactly.
get everything set up.
Yeah.
I can feel the tension building just thinking about it.
You can just imagine.
And we haven't even talked about ghosts yet.
Right.
Just the logistics.
Yeah.
So Jenna's there. She's got the anticipation,
Yeah.
the nerves,
Mhm.
and then bam, disappointment.
It really shows you
Yeah,
how much of ghost hunting is about adapting to the unexpected.
totally.
You never know what you're going to walk into.
Speaking of the unexpected, what about the tech?
Oh, yeah.
Ghost hunting shows make it look like a high-tech treasure hunt.
Oh, right.
All these gadgets and gizmos.
Well, the equipment is a big part of it.
Okay.
It's gotten a lot more sophisticated over the years.
So it's not just flashlights and Ouija boards anymore.
Not anymore.
What kind of things are we talking about?
Well, you've got your EMF detectors.
Oh, meth.
Yeah, they measure electromagnetic fields.
Uh-huh.
Some believe those are associated with spirits. Then you've got thermal imaging cameras.
Right.
Those detect temperature changes.
Mm-hmm.
And EVP recorders.
What are those?
They're for capturing those ghostly whispers.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, it's a whole mix of science fiction and...
And actual science.
Exactly.
So what's it like for these ghost hunters?
Yeah.
Relying on these gadgets in these charged environments.
Well, imagine you're in this dark, eerie place.
Okay.
Your senses are already heightened.
Yeah.
And suddenly your EMF detector starts going crazy.
Oh.
Is it a ghost?
Ooh.
Is it faulty wiring? Or is it just your imagination?
I can feel the goosebumps already.
Right.
That anticipation, not knowing what the readings mean,
Exactly.
that must be incredible.
And then there are the stories of equipment malfunctions.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's an account here
Okay.
from a ghost hunter named Alex.
Mm-hmm.
He had a total equipment failure during an investigation.
Wow.
All of his devices just shut down
At the same time.
at the same time.
So he's there in the dark, in the silence.
Total darkness, total silence.
The adrenaline must be pumping?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's straight out of a horror movie.
It is.
Did he ever figure out what happened?
That's the thing. Sometimes there's just no explanation.
Right.
Was it a technical glitch, a dead battery, or something interfering with the devices? It's just another layer of mystery to the whole experience.
So we've got the location, the prep, the tech, and then there's the human element.
Oh, yeah.
The ghost hunters themselves.
And that's where psychology comes in.
Okay.
You know, put yourself in their shoes. You're in this dark, unfamiliar environment. Your senses are heightened. Your imagination is running wild.
Yeah.
Every little creak, every shadow.
It could be something.
Could be anything.
Right? It's like our brains are wired to find patterns.
They are.
To make sense of the unknown.
Absolutely.
Especially in a situation like ghost hunting.
Right.
It can lead to some interesting interpretations.
You know, fear, expectations, even our own beliefs. They can all change how we see the world around us.
So like a draft could be a spirit passing by.
Exactly.
Or a faint sound could be a ghostly whisper.
Right.
And those visual illusions.
Oh, yeah.
Those can be really convincing.
Yeah.
So basically a creaky floorboard could turn into a full-blown ghost sighting.
It could.
If the circumstances are right.
It's all about context.
So ghost hunting is about understanding our own minds.
In a way.
As much as it is about uncovering these paranormal mysteries.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And you know, we have this funny story here.
Oh, yeah.
From Alex.
Uh-huh.
The ghost hunter who had the equipment failure.
Right.
He actually mistook his own shadow for a ghost.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine?
Heart pounding.
The adrenaline.
And then you realize it's just your shadow.
Just your shadow.
Talk about embarrassing.
Oh, it's a perfect example of how our minds can play tricks on us.
Especially in those tense situations.
So even experienced ghost hunters.
Even the pros.
Aren't immune to these psychological effects.
No one is.
Okay, so we've talked about location scouting, preparation rituals, the tech, the psychological side of things. What else is there?
Well, there's one more big challenge we haven't discussed yet.
Oh, okay.
And it's about the balance between thrill-seeking and respecting the potential spirits they're encountering.
The ethics of ghost hunting.
Exactly.
It's something you don't hear a lot about.
Not really.
Especially on those paranormal TV shows.
Right.
But it's so important.
It is.
Because these aren't just sets.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
these are places where people lived and died.
Yeah.
And maybe they're still there in some form.
It's a real possibility.
So we really need to dive into that.
We do.
But for now, let's take a minute.
Yeah, okay.
And think about everything we've learned so far.
Right.
We've uncovered a lot about the world of ghost hunting.
We have.
The research, the tech, the psychological elements.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll explore those ethical considerations of ghost hunting.
Right.
And how investigators try to find that balance.
Absolutely.
Between curiosity and respect for the unknown.
It's a tough one.
Stick with us.
We'll be right back. Hashtag TTS, the Deep Dive episode 2024-1028, part 2 of 3.
You know, we were just talking about the ethics of ghost hunting.
Right.
And it's something we should really dig into.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement.
Right.
But it's important to remember that these locations, they aren't just backdrops for our curiosity.
Right. These places have history memories.
Yeah.
And maybe even unseen occupants.
Absolutely.
It's a delicate balance, you know,
It is.
between exploring and respecting.
It really is.
So how do ghost hunters find that balance?
Well,
how do they approach these places the right way?
It all starts with intention.
Okay.
Why are they ghost hunting?
Is it just for the thrill?
Right.
Or is there a genuine desire to learn?
Understand.
To maybe even communicate?
That makes sense.
That intention really sets the tone.
Right. If it's all about sensationalizing the paranormal.
Yeah.
That's going to show in how they treat the location.
Exactly.
To the potential spirits.
It's about approaching these places with reverence.
Okay.
Not trying to exploit or provoke. Think about it this way.
Yeah.
If someone kept barging into your home, trying to get a reaction out of you, how would you feel?
Not great.
Exactly.
So how can ghost hunters make sure they're being ethical?
Right.
Is there like a set of rules they follow?
There's not like a formal rule book.
Okay.
But there are some common principles.
Like what?
Well, one is respecting boundaries. Both physical and emotional.
So like investigating a private home.
Yeah.
Without the owner's permission.
That's a big no-no.
Right. Because that could cause stress for the living people there.
Exactly. It's about treating these locations and the potential spirits with the same respect you'd give any living person.
That makes sense.
And it goes beyond just permissions.
Okay.
It's about being mindful of the impact of their actions.
Like how?
Well, some ghost hunters believe in provoking spirits.
To get a response.
Right. But imagine if you were trying to rest.
Yeah.
And someone kept yelling at you.
That would be annoying.
It wouldn't be pleasant.
Not at all.
So ethical ghost hunting involves a lot of empathy. Putting yourself in the shoes of both the living and the dead.
It's about considering everyone involved.
Yes, and it also involves transparency.
Transparency.
Ethical ghost hunters are upfront about their methods.
Okay.
And their findings.
So they share their data openly and honestly.
Even if it doesn't support what they thought.
So they're being truthful about the limitations of their investigation.
Exactly.
And acknowledging that not every piece of evidence is going to be proof.
Got it.
Because ghost hunting, it's a field where definitive proof is hard to come by.
It really is.
It's more about interpretation deduction.
And a willingness to embrace the unknown.
Right. Sometimes the most valuable insights come from recognizing what we don't know.
That's a great point.
Instead of clinging to what we think we know.
Absolutely.
It's about embracing the mystery.
Yeah.
And acknowledging that we might never have all the answers.
And that's okay.
Which actually makes it even more intriguing.
It does, doesn't it?
The pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Even when things are uncertain.
It's what drives us to explore the unknown.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it.
And that same drive. It's what motivates ghost hunters to venture into the dark, face their fears, and try to understand those mysteries beyond our grasp.
It's a fascinating pursuit.
It is.
Full of challenges, contradictions.
And endless possibilities.
And as we've been talking about, it's not just about ghosts and gadgets.
It's about so much more.
It's about psychology ethics.
And the nature of belief itself.
You know, thinking about all this,
it
raises a question that often gets overlooked.
Oh, what's that?
Well, given all the challenges,
right,
the potential for misinterpretations, the psychology involved, how can anyone really know
what?
If they've had a genuine paranormal experience?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Or if it was just a trick of the mind.
Right.
Or a technical glitch.
It's a question that's haunted ghost hunters.
Pun intended.
For centuries.
Is there a foolproof way to know?
Well,
a test, a device, some kind of definitive proof?
I wish there was.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no easy answer.
So no magic formula?
Nope.
No litmus test?
Nothing like that.
So how do we make sense of these experiences then?
Right.
If we can't definitively prove or disprove them?
It comes down to a few things.
Okay.
The evidence, the credibility of the witnesses, how thorough the investigation was, and maybe most importantly, personal conviction.
So it's a mix of objective data and subjective experience.
Exactly.
So even with all the gadgets and research,
a
certain amount of faith is still necessary.
In a way.
It's about trusting your instincts.
Your gut feeling.
About what you've experienced.
That's a big part of it.
But even then, there's always room for doubt.
There is.
Right.
There might be other explanations.
Yeah.
We could have misinterpreted what we saw.
And maybe that's part of what makes it so interesting.
I think so.
The fact that there's no definite answer keeps the mystery alive.
It does.
It keeps us searching.
That unknown is a powerful motivator.
It is.
And that possibility, however small it might be, that we might see something truly extraordinary.
It keeps us going.
It keeps us exploring, questioning.
Pushing the boundaries of what we know.
That's what it's all about.
It's a journey that needs both an open mind and a critical eye.
Absolutely.
A willingness to believe, but also a healthy dose of skepticism.
It's about embracing that paradox.
Right.
The tension between what we know and what we don't.
And recognizing that the answers might not just be out there in the shadows.
They might be within us.
That's a really profound thought.
It is, isn't it?
And it leads us perfectly into the final part of our deep dive.
I'm excited.
When we come back, we'll explore the personal journeys of the people who dedicate themselves to these mysteries.
I can't wait.
And what they've learned about themselves and reality along the way.
This is going to be good.
Don't go anywhere. Hashtag TTS The Deep Dive, episode 2024-1028, part 3 of 3. Welcome back to the show.
It's good to be back.
You know, we've been talking about all these aspects of ghost hunting.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me.
What's that?
That it's not just about spooky encounters
right,
or collecting evidence.
it's more than that.
It's a journey of self-discovery, too.
You're right.
It makes you face your fears,
Yeah.
question what you believe, grapple with the nature of reality.
It's not for everyone.
Definitely not.
It takes a certain kind of person.
So for those who do this,
yeah,
what kind of personal transformations do they go through?
That's a good question.
What do they learn about themselves?
Well, one thing I hear a lot
Yeah.
is that it deepens their empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah, they learn to see the world differently.
In what way?
They consider other perspectives, both for the living and the dead.
I could see that.
When you're always dealing with the unknown,
right,
it challenges your beliefs.
It makes you open your mind.
New possibilities.
Right. You have to let go of those rigid beliefs.
Absolutely.
And embrace the ambiguity.
Yeah, the gray areas where there aren't always clear answers.
It's a humbling experience.
It is.
And it can really change you.
Profoundly.
You know, in a way, ghost hunting is like a metaphor for life.
Oh, tell me more.
We're all navigating the unknown.
It's true.
Facing our fears. Trying to make sense of a world full of mysteries.
I like that analogy a lot.
It's about embracing the unknown.
Yeah.
And being okay with not having all the answers.
And you know what's really fascinating? There's no one right answer in this field.
What do you mean?
Well, what one person sees as paranormal, another person might say it's just their imagination.
Right, it's subjective.
It really is.
It's a personal journey.
So how do people reconcile those different views?
Right, how do they find common ground?
When their experiences are so different.
That's a tough one.
Well, it starts with respect.
Okay.
Understanding that everyone has their own beliefs.
Their own interpretations.
Exactly.
So it's about having those open conversations.
Yeah, sharing experiences, learning from each other.
It's a constant balancing act.
It is.
Between skepticism and belief.
Logic and intuition.
It's about finding that middle ground.
And you know something that often gets overlooked?
What's that?
Is the sense of wonder and curiosity that drives a lot of these investigators.
They're not just thrill seekers.
No, they genuinely want to learn.
To understand.
You connect.
To find answers.
It's that spark of the unknown.
That keeps us coming back for more.
It challenges us.
To think about what's possible.
To consider the afterlife. To ponder those big mysteries.
It's been an amazing deep dive.
It has.
We've explored so much.
The practical challenges.
The psychological stuff.
Even the philosophy.
We've talked about finding haunted locations.
Dealing with equipment problems.
Considering the ethics of interacting with spirits.
We've really covered it all.
And we've seen how these experiences can change people.
Yeah, how they shape their understanding of themselves and the world.
And if there's one thing we want you to remember.
Yeah.
It's that ghost hunting is more than just spooky stories and scary evidence.
Right. It's about thinking critically.
Questioning your assumptions.
Being open to the possibility.
That there's more out there than we currently understand.
It's a journey of exploration.
Both inside and out.
And a reminder that the world is full of mysteries.
If we're brave enough to look for them.
So keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep an open mind.
The truth is out there.
Or maybe it's been inside us all along.
That's a good place to leave it.
I think so.
Until next time, keep those flashlights charged.
And those EMF detectors calibrated.
But most importantly, keep your minds open.
To the wonders and mysteries of the universe.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.